this is NJ, your host on this channel. In this video, we will have our discussion on the monthly forecast for the upcoming month of October. Because there's going to be a lot of planetary shift which is going to be taking place. Planets will be coming out of their retrograde motion. Some planets will be going in the retrograde motion. We will be having an eclipse as well. And also friends, if you are a Sanatan Dharma or a Hinduism follower, so this is a month when we will celebrate one of the biggest festival of Hinduism, which is the festival of Diwali. So now when I say the festival of Diwali, so even for all the occult followers, people who want to charge their tarot cards, put any spell or any of the occult and spiritual reasons as well, Diwali or the night of Diwali is considered as very auspicious for all those reasons as well. So definitely friends, we will first try to understand the whole flavors and the theme of this month, and then in the next section I will try to share the customized results for this upcoming month for all the rising signs. So now friends, to begin with the king amongst all the planets. So Sun is going to be in the first half of the month is going to be transiting in the Virgo sign, which can be seen as a very good sign for people connected with the fields of accountancy, health industry, fitness industry, like getting recognition for all the meticulous hard work you have been putting in. But friends, once Sun is going to enter the sign of Libra, so during this time it is a very alarming state for Sun to be placed in. First of all, Libra is the sign of debilitation for Sun. Second thing is that it is going to get conjunct with Ketu, and it is going to be receiving the aspect from the planet Saturn as well. So if in your nature of work, either you are on a top management, anything to do with the government job or concerns of power, recognition, fame, so you have to act with the best of your integrity. Otherwise, this is a kind of a typical yoga that you are not only getting vulnerable only for your current actions, because Ketu is involved over here. Like any of the wrong actions done by you so many years back can get punished during this time. All of those encrypted files of yours might get suddenly open or exposed. But the same way friends, like Sun and Ketu conjunction also holds the power of bestowing fame as well. So some of the people can also get the due justice or recognition for all the hard work they have been putting in from past so many years, because the planet of justice Saturn is also giving its 10th aspect to the Libra sign right now. Now talking from the perspective of the Mars's contribution during this month. So because Mars, which is currently transiting in the Taurus sign, now the transit of Mars in the Taurus is always considered as very good sign for putting your heart and soul, your complete enthusiasm, energy in the financial gains and financial prosperity. Like all those people who are connected with the banking field, in their family business, anything to do with the dealing with the expensive gemstones or exotic items. So all those people must have got benefited, because in the original Kalpurush Kundli, Taurus actually represents your financial management. Now the moment Mars is going to enter the sign of Gemini, now this is going to be a little bit tricky placement for Mars to be placed in, because Mars sees Gemini or its Lord Mercury as its enemy. Second thing is that friends, because a lot many times it has been seen that unless and until in your nature of work, like in your natal chart, Mars is dignified, working in a very fast paced work environment, so then it can benefit you. But for all those people in whose case lot of arbitration, lot of arguments, lot of fights, difference of opinion. But again friends, for all those people who are performing artists, who are like self-employed, so all those people can still get benefited if you are going through the supporting dashas, and basis your lagna, Mars is a auspicious planet for you. And also friends, because on October 30th, Mars will enter into the retrograde zone as well. So over there as well we will have a separate discussion, because it is not going to impart its influence in the energies of this month, because that is going to be taking place at the end of this month only. Now, studying the contribution of the planet Mercury. So as we all have been witnessing the strengthened state of Mercury right now in the transit. Mercury is in its sign of exaltation, it is conjunct with Sun, and it is in a retrograde motion as well. So friends, Mercury's retrograde motion is going to get over on October 2nd, then it will start moving in a direct motion, and on October 25th Mercury will leave its sign of exaltation and then it will enter the sign of Libra. So just because of the whole concentration of the planets taking place in the Libra sign, Mercury in itself is a very social planet, it's a very communicative planet, it's a very curious planet. So definitely Mercury's presence in the Libra will manifest the results with an equal pace the way it has been manifesting right now in the transit being placed in the Virgo sign. Now looking at the contribution coming in from the planet Venus. So Venus which will be like from September 24th, Venus will enter the sign of its debilitation to the Virgo sign, and it is going to be in this sign till October 17th. So definitely friends, that is going to be a time when the matters of relationship could be a matter of concern and worry for a lot many people, because Venus is going to be in a combust mode as well. So a combust debilitated Venus is not a very good sign for initiating anything in the matters of relationship, matrimonial concerns and all of that. Like if you are actually a follower of Hinduism and Sanatan Dharma, and if during this time you will approach any Panditji or a priest for any auspicious dates for getting married or proposing someone, you will not get any date in the month of October. So that is going to be a matter of concern. But definitely friends, on October 17th, once Venus is going to enter the sign of Libra, and with this accentuated state of the Libra sign right now in transit, with lot many planets being concentrated over here, receiving the aspect from the planet Saturn as well, definitely Venus will start manifesting very good commercial driven results in the life of all of us. Now looking at the Saturn's contribution coming in this month. So Saturn is coming out of its retrograde motion on October 22nd, which can be seen as a very good sign, because a lot of you would have got a chance during this retrograde motion of planet Saturn to work on your basics, on your foundation. Like a lot of you would have considered any on-the-job training. Some of you might have acquired some additional skill as well. So this is how generally planet manifest results whenever they are in a retrograde motion. And specifically friends, here we are talking about a planet of justice being transiting in its favorite sign of karma, of authority. So because of which this whole hard work and whole back and forth of yours, of your professional undertakings which have been going on from past couple of months, is finally coming to an end on October 22nd. Now friends, I just want to request one thing over here, because the moment Saturn is going to enter the sign of Aquarius, it will start giving you result of all the hard work which you have been putting in from the past 2.5 years. So we still have couple of months left to put your best foot forward in whichever field you are currently engaged in. And friends, before we will move to the customized results for all the rising signs, so just because during this month we will be witnessing a solar eclipse as well. So without any doubt, all of you must be knowing the importance of the solar eclipse as well for anything to do with the spiritual austerities. And just because during this time, because of the involvement of the Ketu, Venus, and that too taking place in the axis of the Aries and Libra, so this eclipse becomes also more important for all those people in whose case their concerns are hovering around the areas of relationship, not being happy in a relationship, or being single, awaiting for someone to enter into your life, anything to do with the commercial interest or commercial blockages, anything to do with your public image and all of that. So any sort of manifestation practices, spiritual austerities pledged, vowed or executed on this day can manifest some very wonderful results. Friends, I recently concluded a tarot workshop. So over there only, while explaining this concept, I was giving emphasis that how the manifestation practices work. So let's take a very simple example. So when you are doing a tarot reading, so depending on the kind of energies which are surrounding right now around your question or around your life, that card appears. So let's say, for example, we can reverse the cycle as well. If you know this thing, that this card is equivalent to this specific energy, and if your aspirations are positive and you know that which card represents that positive energy, so while contemplating, meditating on that energy, on that card, you can generate that situation in your life as well. And new moon, eclipses are generally considered as very auspicious for all of those activities. Now friends, for the Sanatan Dharma and the Hinduism followers, so definitely Govats Puja will be done on the October 21st. Then we will be celebrating the Dhan Trayodashi, which is celebrated as the Dhanteras. After that, there is going to be Narak Chaturdashi, and the Mahalakshmi Puja will take place on the October 24th. So over there you have to check your location, and basis that there are certain softwares like Drik Panchang. So over there you can see that during and at which time a fixed Lagna or the fixed Venusian sign is going to be rising in, and you have to check the same alignment in the Navamsa as well, and that can be considered as a very auspicious muhurta for the worship of the goddess Lakshmi, for inviting the grace of goddess Lakshmi in the form of happiness, prosperity, love and relationship, and lot many wealth in your life. So this is what the snapshot theme of this month is for everyone. Now we will shift our discussion to understanding the customized results for all the rising signs. Now friends, starting with the Aries Lagna people first. So guys, in your case, as you can see that first of all, to begin with, now your ascendant lord is going to be changing signs, but even before that, it is going to be transiting in your like second house the October. So a major portion of this month as well, your ascendant lord is going to be putting its focus in the matters of your second house. How you can reinforce or bring prosperity or growth or add some new channel of income in your financial matters. So regarding that front, this can be seen as a very good sign. Along with that friends, Saturn becomes a very important planet for you, and Saturn is going to be coming out of its retrograde motion at your 10th house. So any of the roadblocks or setbacks which you have been lately facing, once Saturn is going to be in a direct motion in your 10th house, definitely all the matters at your professional front which have come to a standstill, I would say that Saturn will give a quick nudge or will accelerate all of those matters of your professional undertakings. Now friends, if you want to see the way other planets are going to be contributing during this month, so definitely in your case, the majority of the planetary concentration is going to be taking place. Like planets are going to be shifting their base from your 6th house and are going to be concentrating in your 7th house. So first of all friends, in the matters of your relationship, you have to remain little bit cautious over here, because Saturn is going to be aspecting it. Sun, which is your 5th house lord, it is going to be getting debilitated, and with the involvement of Ketu. So the main alarming sign over here is that the influence and involvement of Ketu. See, whenever we talk about from the perspective of the Rahu can still give you material results. Rahu can exaggerate things a lot many times in our favor as well. But Ketu has got a very unrelenting streak whenever it is operating on a higher plane. So I would say that this is equally getting qualified for everyone, specifically all those people in whose case the matters of public image, working with the government is very important. All those people have to remain very cautious. Rather, I would say that following remedies will become very important for you. Even from the student's perspective as well, like you have to focus more on your studies, and if during this time you have to appear in any sort of competitive exam, so you have to remain on the top of your preparation. So this is something which I want to say as a part of the theme for all the Aries Lagna people. So now guys, if I were to say in the matters of the finances and the financial prosperity, the month will start picking up the pace after the second half of the month. Regarding the matters of the religious or spiritual austerities, planets coming in the purview and in the influence of Ketu, Jupiter is already transiting in your 12th house. For anything to do with the pilgrimages, for the charities, for the donation, the time can be seen as very promising. In the matters of love and romance, so as you can see that Venus is not in her strongest dignity. Your 5th house lord is also kind of afflicted right now, and Ketu is involved over here. So refrain from it, or if you can postpone proposing someone, initiating any of the matrimonial important talks and all of that, that will prove to be much in your favor. And friends, for anything to do with the professional aspect and all of that, so all the hard work which you have been putting in, I would say that after the second half of the month, the energies are going to be a lot in your favor. Now, whether if you are in a job, or like you have been out of a job, you have been applying for a dream job of yours, over there you can get success, or at your work front as well. Lately you have been facing much criticism, setbacks, or resistance or opposition from people at your work front. Over there things can also improve, and most importantly, now Saturn is very close to entering your 11th house of recognition, of fulfilling your wish. So I would say we just have last 2-3 months left only for you to keep on working hard, and the result of all the hard work of yours is not very far. This is something which I want to say for all the Aries Lagna people. Now friends, as this upcoming solar eclipse is going to be taking place in the axis of your 1st house and 7th house after almost 18 years of time. So if, let's say for example, there has been any lack of clarity in a very esoteric way in the matters of your 7th house, any of the justice which for long has been pending in your case, or anything to do with the matrimonial concerns or clarity in the areas of 7th house, so this solar eclipse can actually initiate a new cycle in your life pertaining to the matters of your 7th house as well. Now friends, for all the Taurus Lagna people, so now guys, in your case, as you can fairly see that right now planets are actually concentrated in your 5th house. So your trine house are actually in a very accentuated state, because Saturn is going to be coming out of its retrograde motion in your 9th house, and all the horde of the planets in your 5th house can be seen as a very good sign for the spiritual, religious austerity, anything to do with the manifestation or art and creative projects and pursuit. Regarding that front, the month will start on a good note for you. But friends, as you can fairly see that after the second half of the month, the planetary shift is going to be taking place in a sensitive houses in your case. First of all, during this month, solar eclipse is going to be taking place in your 6th house. So at your work front, some new cycle is going to be taking place, because friends, this eclipse is going to be taking place in the axis of your 12th house and 6th house after almost 18 years of time. Second thing is that your ascendant lord is not in a very strongest dignity. So overall month is not creating a very good energy, specifically in the matters of the relationship. So in the matters of relationship, you have to remain very cautious, you have to remain very watchful. Second thing is that when we talk about the transit of Mars in your 2nd house, so definitely friends, because Mars in your case has got the rulership of your 12th house as well, like rather its Mool Trikona sign falls in your 12th house, so because of which expenses can suddenly go high. So this is one area where you have to remain very cautious, very careful. Like rather I would say that if you actually want to give justice or honor the planetary vibration, so spend your money on the gifts to all your family members and loved ones. Because if you are a Sanatani or a Hinduism follower, so in the month of the Diwali, we in any case we have to spend a lot of money in buying the gifts and sweets and everything. So in one way or another way, a hole is gonna come in your pocket. So better to use it in those areas where it is going to be bringing happiness in your life as well. So that is one thing which I am very predominantly looking at your case. Second thing is that regarding the matters of the property and all of that, if all those people whose occupation or livelihood is connected in these areas, in these fields, so like whether you are an architect or interior decor or any of those fields, those people can still get benefited. And also friends, now as you can see that Saturn is going to be coming out of its retrograde motion in your 9th house. Now Saturn's retrograde motion in the 9th house many times suppresses the prospects of the luck supporting you or luck working out in your favor. So let's say for example, for any of those cases where you have to plan some foreign travel or immigration related concerns, PhD, enrolling in a foreign university and all of that, so now the time seems to be working a lot in your favor. So now friends, if I were to summarize, now as you can see that during this month, Sun, which has got the rulership of your 4th house, and your 4th house lord is going to be getting conjunct with Ketu in your 6th house. So specifically in the matters of the domestic life and all of that, it becomes very important for you to take each and every step very carefully, and specifically for all those people who are already going through any of the litigation or dispute pertaining to the property related matters or family related dispute and all of that. Over there, this conjunction of Sun with Ketu in your 6th house can actually create some sudden unpredictable streak of energy. So try to remain very well prepared in all those areas. Anything to do with the religious, spiritual austerity, the month is creating a very good energy. The month will prove to be very expensive for you. So do not go on an extravagant spree on your credit cards and all of that. Not a very good month for giving loans to people. And for the matters of the 9th house only, regarding the foreign travel or enrollment in any of the foreign related matters, the month seems to be a lot in favor for all the Taurus Lagna people. Moving ahead friends, now for all the Gemini rising people. So now guys, in your case, as you can fairly see, that month will definitely start on a good note, because in the initial 2 weeks, the planets are going to be maintaining their dignity in your 4th house of comforts, of enjoyment, of all sort of conveniences like domestic life and happiness on the account of the near and dear family members. But friends, with the passage of the time, like after the second half of the month, as you can fairly see over here, that first of all, the solar eclipse is going to be taking place in the excess of your 11th house and the 5th house after almost 18 years of time. So the conjunction of your 3rd house lord with the Ketu and with the involvement of Moon and Venus in the 5th house, this is actually an ideal combination of that spiritual illumination, prophetic dreams, divine intervention. Like I have come across lot many case studies and true account where people have witnessed that their Ishta Devta has appeared in their dreams and has given them instructions regarding the temple they want to construct or whatever their wish is for their human incarnated form. So not many spiritual insight bestowed upon whenever planets make this kind of yoga. Now definitely all depends on how spiritually oriented you are, but all of that is possible because the way planets are going to be influencing you. We can fairly see an accentuated state of your 5th house, Saturn being in the 8th house, Mars transiting in your 12th house. So all of that is actually getting promised right over there at the time of the eclipse. So friends, overall, if I were to summarize the theme for the Gemini Lagna people, so definitely friends, a very good month will start on a good note on the material progress, domestic happiness perspective. But with the passage of the time, for all those people who are connected with the art, entertainment, creativity, and let's say for example, if your ongoing dashas are also running very favorable and you're contemplating some sort of change at your professional work front, or let's say for example you are a student, you have to appear in any sort of competitive exam and all of that. So regarding that front as well, this month is creating a very good energy for all the Gemini Lagna people. And friends, the suppressing energy of Saturn being in a retrograde motion in the 8th house is always a matter of worry. So finally now Saturn will also come out of your 8th house as well. So I do not know how many of the Gemini Lagna people have actually taken interest in the occult sciences and all of that, but we still have, like you guys still have the last 3 months, because once Saturn is going to enter your 9th house, then that golden window of opportunity is going to get shut down, because Saturn's presence or Saturn's transit in the 8th house could be a matter of worry in so many other areas. But when we talk about receiving that true transcendental knowledge of your soul, of the secretive sciences, occult sciences, Saturn's presence in the 8th house can be seen as a blessing in disguise for all those spiritually oriented people. So this is how, friends, and this is what I am looking forward to the Gemini Lagna people. The beautiful aspect of this month is that Mars and Saturn will actually stop bothering you the way they have been troubling you, and a very good time for the students and for all those people who are very spiritually oriented in their life. Moving ahead, friends, now for all the Cancer Lagna people. So now guys, in your case, as you can fairly see that first of all, Mars and Saturn are definitely going to be working a lot in your favor during this month, because Saturn, which for long has been retrograde in your 7th house, will come out of its retrograde motion in your 7th house. So any of the setback which you have been facing in the matters of your commercial planning or in the matters of your matrimonial life and all of that, so over there things will start accelerating or taking a positive turn in your favor. Now friends, Mars in your case also becomes a very important planet, because Mars is your Yog Karaka planet. So I would say that in the initial, like the first 3 weeks, I would say are going to be putting you in a position of advantage, power and favor, where Mars is going to be transiting in your 11th house. But once Mars is going to be transiting in your 12th house, that is going to be a time when expenses can suddenly go high. And let's say, for example, for all those people, like this can act in your favor only if you are in any way connected with the overseas interest, like overseas universities, or interest in spirituality, occult business, adult industry. All those people can still get benefited. But apart from that, I would say that emotional mental anxiety can suddenly go high, and specifically for all those cases where you are always worried on the account of the well-being of your children and all of that. So 5th house lord transiting in the 12th house can suddenly give rise to lot many uncertainties and worries. But again friends, because Mars in your case has got the rulership of your 10th house as well, so 10th house lord transiting in the 12th house, a lot many overseas opportunities are gonna come, in whose case it is getting qualified. Now friends, during this month, the solar eclipse is going to be taking place after almost 18 years of time in the axis of your 10th house and the 4th house. So friends, I will be very honest with you, without doubt, you being a person being ruled by your emotions, your feelings, being ruled by Cancer, and this solar eclipse is going to be taking place in your 4th house. So your emotional health, well-being is something you have to give heightened attention. Now again, if you are a very spiritually oriented person, so a lot of illumination, epiphanies, realization can also take place in your life, because 4th house is somehow is connected and attached with our deep rooted emotions and our feelings as well. So your 2nd house lord getting conjunct with Ketu, with the involvement of moon and Venus, so some sort of realization or truth will definitely be revealed to you pertaining to the matters of your family life. That is for sure. I will not advise taking any important financial decision around the time of the eclipse, and doing more meditation, keeping yourself hydrated will become very important for all the Cancer Lagna people at the time of this eclipse. And also friends, as you can see that all of that shift is only going to take place after the second half of the month. In the first half of the month, I'm seeing you guys a lot in your control in all areas of your life. The planetary concentration, like the 2nd house lord in the 3rd house, gives rise to lot many successful initiatives, good resourcefulness, profitable journeys and travels. So this is how the month will start for you. But with the passage of time, when your Mars will transit to your 12th house, and the eclipse which is going to take place in your 4th house, so just strongly get rooted in your devotional, religious, spiritual practices, and refrain from any outburst. Do not be a part of any activity, any lifestyle which can give rise to burnout, which can give rise to any sort of outburst or hallucination. So, and specifically friends, during this time, like I would say during at the time of the eclipse, and when Mars around the same time is going to be transiting in your 12th house, if you're already a very highly strung person, so refrain from intoxicants, any of those stimulants which can create a unbalance in the matters of your emotional health well-being. That is something which I want to advise to all the Cancer Lagna people as a part of their theme of this month. Now friends, for all the Leo rising people, so now guys, in your case, as you can fairly see that just because this month is going to be witnessing a eclipse and your ascendant lord is definitely a part of that, and it is going to be taking place in your third house. So definitely a matter of concern regarding any of the initiatives, your relationship with your siblings, with your friends, any of the projects where you are a part of. So all of that needs to be given heightened attention during this month. Now friends, with that said, that does not mean that success cannot be attained. Like whenever the eclipses are taking place, and specifically we are talking about the night of the Diwali, so which is considered as the darkest night, and because of the involvement of Ketu, so many times the result of all of those deeds and actions which you have been doing or putting in from past so many years, not only in this life but past so many lives, so all of those result of all that hard work many times in a sudden way get released or get manifested as well. So remain kind of open and welcoming towards all of those as well. Now friends, in your case, because for a past long time, like Saturn has been in a retrograde motion in your 6th house. So Saturn being in a 6th house, that too in a retrograde motion, would have been a matter of concern in many cases. So over there you will definitely feel the relief that if you are facing any setback, any sort of obstacles while dealing with your teammates and all of that, so once Saturn is going to gain its momentum in your 6th house, things will start coming back to their normal affair. Now friends, talking about from the perspective of the Mars, now Mars, which becomes a very important Yoga Karaka planet for you guys. So Mars, which is currently transiting in your like 10th house, so Mars will enter your 11th house, which can be seen as a very profitable, very good transit of Mars, like all the hard work which you have been putting in. So friends, if I were to summarize, definitely this is going to be a month of reckoning for you guys. Like it all depends on how much work you have been putting in, and specifically this is getting more applicable in the cases of people who are either connected with the government, connected with the mass media, or they are in the top management. So I would say that all the hard work and the honest work which you have been putting in, the result of that will get manifested in a very sudden way, like a flash of light during this month in your case. 6th house, which tells about our work ethics, Saturn turning direct over there, transiting in the 11th house, and your ascendant lord is getting conjunct with Ketu in the 3rd house. So very auspicious yoga which is getting formed. But friends, that is going to be a theme which will start manifesting only after the second half of the month. Now when we talk about the initial first 2 weeks of the month, so definitely friends, the planetary concentration in your 2nd house, I am very much sure that many Leo rising people would have faced this upward rising in the matters of their financial inflow, new opportunities, new contracts, new agreement. So definitely friends, month will start on a good note. It is not making you vulnerable. It's only when Sun, your ascendant lord, is going to get conjunct and it's gonna transit to your like 3rd house and being in the influence of Ketu, right over from that time, the worship of the planet Sun, Surya and Narayan, will become very important for you, being very much respectful towards your elderly members. Like rather I would say that even remembering your Kul Devta, your ancestors, and the worship of Lord Ganesha will also become very important in the case of all the Leo rising people. So now friends, if I were to summarize, I'm actually looking forward to a very good month, specifically for all those people in whose case limelight, public appreciation, recognition, or exerting authority, asking for any favors, and results and rewards of all the hard work which you have been putting in, all of that is getting qualified. So this month can actually prove to be a game changer for all of those Leo rising people. Moving ahead friends, now for all the Virgo rising people. So now guys, in your case, as you can fairly see, like first I will start with the influence of the solar eclipse, which is going to be influencing the matters of your 2nd house and the 8th house after almost 18 years of time. So now friends, in your case, like Sun becomes the ruler of your 12th house, and it is getting conjunct with Ketu, with the contribution coming in from the moon and the Venus. So definitely friends, in the matters of your finances, around the time period of the this eclipse, this new moon, you have to remain very careful. Like specifically if you are in a family business, anything connected with the government, being in a top management, or where the matters of your public image is very important, so during those days you have to remain very careful. But friends, again I will say the same thing, like this is actually a ideal combination which has been seen in a lot many cases, because second house, which also tells about your kutum, about your family, 12th house also tells about the departed souls and all of that, and this is a kind of a combination where all the departed souls and the astral entities can also establish or form a connection with you as well, like profiting dreams, spiritual illumination, getting those epiphanies, realization, awareness regarding finding your purpose, regarding kind of the role which you have to undertake or perform within your family. So those sudden epiphanies generally also falls and takes place during these kind of planetary alignments. So remain very much watchful regarding that. But again friends, over and above that, not a very good time to initiate any of the important financial project during this time. Second thing is that friends, definitely in your case, the beauty over here is that Saturn has been coming out of its retrograde motion in your 5th house. So let's say for example, if lately you have been getting bothered because of the pessimistic thinking, or your mind is not working out as proactive as it used to be. So I would say once Saturn is going to come out of its retrograde motion, all the results connected with the matters of the 5th house will start manifesting very good results. And also friends, like as you can see that Mars, which is although not a very auspicious planet for you guys, but Mars is going to be entering your 10th house as well during this month. So definitely in the matters of your profession, I am looking forward to some quick paced progress. But the only concern is that friends, because Mars being an unfavorable planet for your Lagna, so refrain from getting into any argument with people at your work front. So friends, overall if I were to summarize, the month will start on a very good note for you guys, with the horde of or concentration of planets in your 1st house, making you in a position of power, being in that mode of authority and being very confident with all of your decisions. And once the planetary shift is going to be taking place in your 2nd house, definitely friends, your focus will start going in the matters of your finances, but it's only of this esoteric combination which will be getting formed at the time of the eclipse. You have to remain cautious. I would say friends, it's a very good time for making any charities, any donation at the time of this like new moon or this Amavas. And even I would say that if you have to actually do any sort of dosh nivaran puja, like if in your case you have got any sort of daridra yoga in your chart, any of the pitra dosha in your chart, any of the kalsarp yoga in your chart as well, so I would say that doing the japa or donations or any of the spiritual practice undertaken at the time of this eclipse can bring the clarity in the matters of your financial blockage as well. So regarding that front, this is how the month is creating energy for all the Virgo rising people. So friends, I would also say this thing, because Saturn's retrograde motion in the 5th house many times also creates a blockage in giving you the good returns in all of your investments as well. So even pertaining to the matters of the return on investment or gains on the account of the speculative interest and endeavors of yours, over there as well the results will start coming in. This is how you can see the monthly theme for all the Virgo rising people. Moving ahead friends, now for all the Libra rising people. So now guys, in your case, as you can freely see over here, that first of all, the axis of your 1st house and 7th house is going to be witnessing a solar eclipse after almost 18 years of time. So solar eclipse taking place right over there in your 1st house actually demands lot of attention regarding your behavior, regarding your conduct during that time. So I would say give heightened attention towards your health. Do not take any headless, reckless action. And I would say friends, because in your case, Sun has got the rulership of your 11th house as well. So I would say that if you're actually facing any lack of clarity in any specific area of your life. So, and if you are a very spiritually oriented person as well, so some sort of sudden epiphany, awakening, realization can also take place, like prophetic dreams and all of that. So it all is dependent on how spiritually oriented you are and what kind of lifestyle you live. Second thing is that, friends, now as you can see that, Saturn's transit in the 4th house is never a very positive, harmonious sign, and over and above that, Saturn was for long retrograde as well. So finally, if you have been feeling kind of suppressed or emotional vulnerability or kind of pressure pertaining to the matters of your domestic life, so once Saturn will gain its momentum in your 4th house, it will be in the direct motion. All the matters of your 4th house will start coming back to their normal flow. Second thing is that, friends, because in your case Mars was also making you a lot vulnerable from past couple of days. Like as you can see that Mars in your case has got the rulership of your 2 important houses of relationship and the financial matters as well, and Mars which was transiting in your 8th house. So now finally Mars will come out of your 8th house, which will be a sigh of relief, and then Mars will enter your 9th house. So definitely, friends, pertaining to the matters of your financial inflow or any of the work related travel and some sort of very successful, fruitful partnership and alliances as well, this will be a harbinger of very good news. Now the concern over here is that, friends, because right now the planets are kind of concentrated in your 12th house. So I would say that the actually month will start with this degree and sense of feeling insecure, being highly strung, being in a volatile environment. But trust me, after the second half of the month, things will start coming a lot in your favor and a lot in your grip, in your command as well. So let's say, for example, if the past couple of weeks you have got this feeling that life is slipping out of your hand, other people are trying to control you, so the control or the power will be restored back again. So everything will be coming back to its normal self only after the second half of the month. The only one thing, friends, which I want to highlight over here as a part of the theme for you guys is that this eclipse is going to be taking place in your 1st house. You already have Ketu transiting over there, and Sun is becoming and involving in it as well, and 11th house has a lot to do with our wishes, with our what we ultimately want to become, what we ultimately want to do in the life. So I would say that being in a mode of meditation and religiously, spiritually oriented, being in a mode of complete surrender to the universe will be very much required, will be very much important. And second thing is that, friends, I always say this thing that Diwali is considered as the darkest night of the year. It is a very important night for any sort of manifestation practices, occult practices, putting any spell, charging your tarot cards, anything to do with the secretive, occult or spiritual in nature. That night is considered as very auspicious. So just because of the involvement which is getting formed in your case, making your whole life, whole existence a part of that. So I would say keep your life simple, relaxed, refrain from alcohol, non-veg during those days, and as simplistic and as devotional you can be during those hours of those spiritually elevated vibration, the better it is going to be working out for all the Libra Lagan people. Moving ahead, friends, now for all the Scorpio rising people. So now guys, in your case, as you can fairly see that whenever we have to study any of the slow moving planet ruled rising sign, we always first start with your Lagnaceous or your ascendant lord's journey in the transit. So friends, during this month your ascendant lord is going to be transiting in your 8th house, and not only that, after 18 years of time, the eclipse is going to be taking place in the axis of your 12th house and the 6th house, making you prone towards lot of spiritual insights, epiphanies, illumination this month. Now friends, first of all, let's say for example, if you are in any way connected with the fields of insurance, revenue or occult fields, or you have recently been initiated in the fields of spirituality or occult field, or for past so long you have been working hard on giving power to any mantra, any spell, any religious occult practice. So the result of all of that hard work can get manifest during this month. So friends, to begin with, let's look at the movement of Mars in your 8th house in this month. So friends, I will be very honest with you guys, like if your chart in any case is prone and vulnerable towards cuts, injuries and accidents, like your ascendant lord is conjunct with Saturn, Rahu in the 6th house or in the 8th house, then you have to give heightened attention. Second thing is that friends, I have already explained, for anything to do with the research, exploration, occult pursuit, the month is creating a very positive energy. Now friends, second thing is that we cannot overlook the importance of the eclipse, because eclipse generally opens up a new window, entirely a new existence in our case, like giving us clarity and shedding light in some of the darkest hidden areas of our life, which we have not even experienced so far in this incarnation. So I would say friends that because around the time of the eclipse, which in Hinduism is also celebrated as the longest night as well, the night of Diwali. So I would say a couple of days before and after, try to be as simplistic as possible, like refrain from any intoxicants, stimulants or non-vegetarian food. The more sattvic you could be, the more of the surrender you will give to the universe, to the higher powers, the better this energy can manifest results in your favor. Friends, I will be very honest with you, this is a kind of yoga and alignment in which a lot many spiritually elevated people have experienced their Isht Devta in their dream. They have kind of received the guidance from their Isht Devta in the dream, prophetic dreams, spiritual illumination, astral travel, out of the body experience, getting the experience and result of all the hard work they have been putting in giving power to any mantra or something. So that is how generally result manifest, and that is the only reason we say that the night of Diwali is considered as very auspicious for any spell, any spiritual practice and all of that. So because of which friends, remain very much cautious and aware around your activities and the way things or the external astral entities are trying to communicate with you or giving you any indication. Now friends, talking about from the other perspective, so definitely in your case Saturn is going to be coming out of its retrograde motion in your 3rd house, which can be seen as a very good sign, because friends, Saturn's transit in the 3rd house and the 7th house is always considered as very favorable for people interested in entrepreneurship, having your own business or starting your own business, initiating something very important, sowing seeds for some lifetime investment and all of that. So I would say friends that once Saturn is going to be coming out of its retrograde motion, if you have been long facing hurdles or setbacks and delays in wheresoever you put your hands, so I would say all of those obstacles are gonna get out of your way. Second thing is that friends, because the planetary concentration which has been so far in your 11th house, so I would say that from the past couple of weeks you would have been experiencing lot many financial opportunity, a lot of socialization. So kind of the month will start on the same note, but after the second half of the month, once the planetary contribution and the concentration will start shifting towards the 12th house, it might make you a loner, thoughts of spiritual insight and kind of being in this mode of self introspection will start rising in your existence, in your personality. And definitely friends, for all those people, like in their case, anything to do with the matters of your profession, which has to do with the foreign lands, overseas and all of that, so all of those people can get benefited. Now friends, over here you have to remain very, very cautious. In your case, okay, I already explained the spiritual side or benefit of the eclipse taking place in your 12th house, but in any case it hardly matters whether you have a faith or you have a kind of trust and belief in spirituality or not. In any case, Sun is a part of that. Sun is your 10th house lord, and Sun is going to be entering your 12th house and getting conjunct with Ketu. So Sun's influence on Ketu manifests results in a very, very extreme way. So at your work front or as a part of your professional undertakings, you have to remain very cautious. Like rather I would say that if in your nature of work there is any sort of underhanded activity, taking bribe or doing things where you are hiding things from the government, or you're doing anything unethical, unlawful and all of that. So you have to remain very cautious, very careful, because this transit can actually make you vulnerable or prone towards getting entangled in any sort of scandal which could lead towards the defamation and all of that. So try to remain very cautious the way you act in the society. I would say that the worship of Surya Narayan and the worship of Lord Ganesha will become very favorable for you during this time. Now friends, do not be mistaken, like that Sun and Ketu conjunction can only give rise to spirituality or defamation. Trust me, in a lot many cases I've seen, because Ketu is a significator which represents the hoisted flag. Ketu can actually give you fame and power of the highest level, and that gets more supported when it comes in the influence of the Sun as well. So it all comes down to your actions and with how much integrity you have been putting forth your efforts in the society, in the community. So friends, overall a very spiritually oriented time for all the Scorpio Lagna people. And yes, just if in your natal chart in itself you have got very accident prone yogas and your dashas are also running very kind of volatile, very vulnerable, then till the time Mars is not gonna come out of your 8th house, you have to remain cautious, and the month will definitely start on a good socially active life, but slowly, gradually it will start taking you more towards self-introspection mode in this month. Moving ahead friends, now for all the Sagittarius Lagna people. So now guys, in your case, as you can fairly see over here, that first I will start with the axis of Rahu and Ketu, like which is going to be witnessing this solar eclipse after 18 years of time in this 11th house and 5th house axis of yours. So friends, because in your case Sun has got the rulership of your 9th house, so 9th house lord getting conjunct with Ketu, with like Moon and Venus in your 11th house is actually a very spiritually illuminating yoga. It's like divine intervention, or because of the sheer support of the luck, a big break coming to you, or getting some sort of position which you have not even anticipated, or like a lot many things can take place with this kind of combination. And friends, finally we cannot even overlook this fact that 11th house is the house which gives us the purpose, the reason for our existence in this lifetime. So remain in this mode of surrender and remain very much receptive towards the way the psychic energies and psychic numbers and your intuition is guiding you around the time of the eclipse. Because friends, it's not only the eclipse but also because we will be celebrating Diwali as well, and Diwali is considered as the darkest night of the year. This is considered as a very auspicious time for any sort of occult practice, starting any like experiencing the power in the mantra which you have been reciting, or any sort of upaya remedies generally bring or manifest very strong results at the time of Diwali or at the time of the eclipses. So consider doing all of that. Like I would say that specifically around the time of the eclipse, refrain from overindulgence in intoxicants, stimulants, or alcohol or non-vegetarian food of any sort. Try to keep yourself as pure, as sattvic as possible. Second thing is that friends, definitely Saturn is going to be coming out of your coming out of the retrograde motion in your 2nd house. So lately, if you have been facing the blockage and heat in the free flow of your financial matters, the retrograde motion of Saturn is going to come to an end, and you will feel that things are coming back to its normal state or normal affair. So a very good news pertaining to the matters of your finances. Also friends, because Mars, which in your case has got the rulership of your 5th house, it was like in the first 3 weeks it is going to be transiting in your 6th house, and the moment it is going to be transiting briefly to your 7th house, it will actually trigger up or accelerate the matters of your commercial interest as well. So very good news for people connected with the business or freelance, or people connected with the banking and the financial field as well. Now friends, as you can fairly see that the way this month is be turning out for all the Sagittarius Lagna people is that because in the first half of the month planets are concentrated in your 10th house, making you a multitasker, putting a lot of your focus and energy in the matters of your professional undertakings. But with the passage of the time, once planets will start shifting to your 11th house and they will start coming in the scrutiny or in the influence of Ketu. So definitely this month will give you lot many breakups, new partnership, new alliance, interest towards new philosophy, new ideologies. So this is how the month is turning out for all these Sagittarius Lagna people. So friends, if I were to summarize, a very good month for any sort of spiritual austerity, for finding your ultimate purpose or path. A very good month for experiencing that free flow in the matters of your financial matters, financial management. And definitely friends, remain very much open and welcoming towards some new people, new energy, new partnership, new alliances in your life. Moving ahead friends, now for all the Capricorn rising people. So now guys, first we will start with the eclipse influencing the matters of your 10th house and the 4th house. Now we cannot overlook this fact that eclipse in your this axis is taking place after almost 18 years of time. So that means that whatsoever ultimate professional undertaking or the accomplishment or title which you deserve, this eclipse can actually give you an insight or can give you a brief sneak peek into it. So try to remain very much cautious and careful how you are exerting your energies around the time of the eclipse. Second thing is that friends, because we know that it's not only the eclipse but also the time of the new moon and the Diwali as well, which is considered as the darkest night, a time when you can actually put power to any of your spell, any of the occult practices which you have been undertaking or participating in. Second thing is friends, I want to be very clear over here because in your case Sun has got the rulership of your 8th house as well. So 8th house Lord coming in the 10th house, getting conjunct with Ketu. So there is going to be strong churning up which can take place. Now depending on the kind of yogas you have in your chart, the kind of dashas you are going through, and I have seen this kind of energy benefiting those people specifically in whose case their whole life hovers around the areas of the 8th house. Like this could be that if you're already going through the 8th house Lord's dasha, your ascendant Lord is in the 8th house, 10th house Lord is sitting in the natal placements in the 8th house. So then friends, in those kind of cases definitely it can actually bring some sort of reward, some sort of unexpected positive development in your favor as well. Never ever forget this fact that there has been lot many successful celebrities with Sun and Ketu conjunct either in their 10th house or the 11th house. But again friends, if your actions are questionable in the society, you indulge in unethical acts and all of that, then this combination or this transit of Sun can also entangle you in any sort of scandals as well. So remain very watchful of your actions, doing mantras and chanting connected to the Surya Narayan and the Lord Ganesha will become very important for you. Second thing is that friends, relief is definitely on your way once your ascendant Lord is going to be coming out of its retrograde motion in your 1st house. So for the past so long, if you have been facing kind of boycotted, being isolated, concerns of negative thoughts troubling you, so all of that will come to a halt once Saturn will pace or be in that direct motion in your 1st house. Also friends, now as you can see that because in your 9th house there has been lot of planetary concentration which has been taking place for long. So I would say that the matters of the luck was in any case supporting you, but just because now the planetary shift is going to be taking place in your 10th house, so all of the wisdom which you have acquired so far in your this self introspection mode, you might get a chance or a possibility to put that at work as well. So regarding your work front, I am actually looking forward to some release and some sort of clarity or sudden illuminating light touching the Capricorn Lagna people in this month. Second thing is that friends, like even if you want to see the way planet Mars is going to be behaving, so Mars is going to be briefly coming out of your 5th house, it is going to be transiting to your 6th house. So definitely I am now looking at the Capricorn Lagna people to be taking the reins of control back in their hand, putting their best foot forward, coming out and appearing as very competitive, as very strong contender. So this is how the energies are going to be manifesting for all the Capricorn Lagna people during this month. So now friends, the summary is that the first half of the month will definitely start on this kind of being in your own space kind of mode, but with the passage of the time or after the first half of the month, you might remain lucky in witnessing or experiencing many sudden opportunities as well, and all the hard work which you have been putting in, the result of that can also get manifested in a very sudden way as well. If as a part of your actions, your profession, there is a lot of unethical association and actions are part of that, you have to remain very careful till the time Sun is going to get conjunct with Ketu in your 10th house. And also friends, like for all those people who have been doing their job and their duties with complete integrity, so some sort of position and some sort of reward can also come their way as well. Moving ahead friends, now for all the Aquarius Lagna people. So now guys, in your case, as you can fairly see that I will first start with the eclipse taking place in the axis of your 9th house and the 3rd house. So friends, we cannot even overlook this fact that in your case, this eclipse in this axis is taking place after almost 18 years of time, and Sun has got the rulership of your 7th house. It is going to be getting conjunct with Ketu, Moon and Venus at the time of the eclipse in the 9th house. So a lot of the divine intervention, prophetic dreams, spiritual illumination can take place in all those cases where people are living a very spiritually oriented life, like your life completely hovers around being in the service of your Ishta Devta, being completely in the service of the higher powers. If this is the kind of lifestyle you are living in, trust me, look forward to some sort of clarity or epiphany coming your way, which will definitely give you a strong faith and resolution in the existence of the divinity all around us. Second thing is that friends, like definitely Saturn is going to be coming out of your retrograde motion in your 12th house, which can also be seen as a very good sign. So overall friends, the way planetary vibration is going to be influencing you guys during this month, it is actually creating a very alchemist, very esoteric, very spiritually oriented yogas for all of you guys. So any sort of like religious and spiritual austerity done by you during this month can actually manifest very good results. And if as a part of your livelihood, as a part of your natural interest, you're already working or engaged in all these fields, you can definitely get benefited. Also friends, like for all those people who are either working in the matters of the 12th house as a part of their business, profession, you have been looking forward to applying for any foreign university, you have your own import-export nature of work, you are thinking about undertaking any important business or work related travel, so all of that will prove to be very much in your favor during this month as well. Now friends, looking at from the perspective of the Mars, so now definitely friends, Mars in your case has been transiting in your 4th house. So the transit of Mars in the 4th house many times create a strife or an energy of discord in our domestic life. So briefly, Mars is going to be entering in your 5th house as well during this month, which can be seen as a very good sign for giving you the gains or kind of returns on all of the investments which you have been putting forth. A very good energy for people engaged in athletics or any sort of performing arts and all of that. All those people can also get benefited, because friends, in your case, Mars has got the rulership of your 3rd house as well, the house of your communication, the house of your performance and your actions and your initiatives. Now friends, looking at the overall planetary concentration, so definitely friends, the whole horde of the planets which was lately transiting or in the first half of the month will going to be transiting in your 8th house, so which is only a good energy for people who are currently engaged in the matters of the 8th house, research, exploration, insurance, revenue and all of that. But for the general well-being of anyone, I would say 8th house energy tend to remain very perplexing, very depleting and many times very confusing. So once after the second half of the month, once the planet are going to be shifting their base in your 9th house, definitely many clarity is going to be taking place in the lives of the Aquarius people. Any sort of work related travel I have already explained will prove to be very beneficial, and for all those people in whose case being in the service of their guru, or the acquisition of knowledge is very important, or any of the matters of the profession and the business as well, over there as well the planetary vibration is definitely going to be supporting you. And I would say that because of the conjunction of your 7th house lord with the Ketu in your 9th house, all what is required is complete surrender towards your Isht Devta, and the grace of your Isht Devta will definitely hold your finger and take you towards the right path towards your success during this month. And lastly friends, for all the Pisces Lagna people, so guys, in your case, as you can fairly see that first of all the axis of Rahu and Ketu, which is going to be witnessing this like eclipse in your 8th house and the 2nd house axis after almost 18 years of time, is making you a little bit prone and vulnerable. So I would say friends, because the Sun, Moon, Ketu and Venus energy in the 8th house at the time of the eclipse, and because Diwali, which is considered as the darkest night of the year, which can be seen as a blessing in disguise for people who are very spiritually oriented, like you have been working hard to give power to any mantra, you want to energize any of your tarot cards or any of your spiritual accessories and all of that. So regarding that front, the month or these days are going to be very favorable, very auspicious. But friends, when we talk about in general, like for someone who is living a very material driven life, so I would say that any of your actions, any of the important work related decision needs to be taken with lot of contemplation, lot of care. Till the time your 6th house lord is transiting in the 8th house being conjunct with Ketu, you have to remain very cautious, very careful regarding your conduct, your behavior at your work front, specifically while dealing with your juniors and subordinates. The good part is that friends, during this month Saturn is going to be coming out of its retrograde motion in your 11th house. So definitely any of the big dreams, goals and plans of yours, wheresoever you have been working hard or putting your energy, lately if you have been facing any blockages, Saturn will release you or give you a relief in all those areas. Also friends, because lately the planetary concentration was taking place in your 7th house, slowly gradually after the second half of the month, planets will start shifting their base to the 8th house. So very good time again for all the spiritually oriented people. But I would say that for general well-being, any of the matters of your public image or recognition will be on the scrutiny. So refrain from any unethical acts, any sort of perversive actions. That is one thing which I want to say. Also friends, in your case, Mars is also going to be transiting briefly to your 4th house as well. So there is a lot of churning up which is going to be taking place in your inner emotional health and even in the matters of your domestic life as well. So try to keep at peace, at calm. Religious, spiritual refuge and austerity will become all time important, and I would say that this is a very auspicious time you are going through, that if you have been long thinking about initiating or getting initiated into any of the spiritual field, like for long you have been planning to take a course on Ayurveda, take a course on tarot, which I am providing on my website, or take a course on astrology, or go on any religious pilgrimage and all of that. So a very good month to give priority to all these areas as well, and a very auspicious time for people engaged in anything to do with research or exploration. So a very good month getting generated for all the Pisces Lagna people. So this is something friends which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs for the energies and theme of this upcoming month for all the rising signs. For further more updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. Dhanyawad.